All right. Hi, everyone. We are doing an early episode of Granblue Radio because this Thursday is a very busy Thursday for us, aka
And they decided to drop 4 characters on us
four
instead of the
characters
usual 2.
and a summon. So when they said, so remember that they said at the beginning of this summer, or before the beginning of this summer, they said they were going to cut out a release because the last few years there was a release of characters in between this Premium Gala and the next Flash Gala, and I think their data said that nobody rolled on that ever
For good reasons.
because it was lower rates and yeah.
And
What
then
we
there's usually the end of summer.
what we have now is that if you go into these draw rates and you take a look at let's see what's the name of the floaty? Is it just called float? Fediel float. It is 0.5%. And
That's pretty high.
Cerberus, the summon, is also 0.5%. So there's 5 of these. So 2.5% out of the 6% of SSRs are these new ones. And for most of the people in our crew, at least, who are rolling for this, the rate up has been very real because they've been giving us enough rolls to notice it. Because as of right now, we have a free daily 10, and then a hold it until you want to use it 10 a day. They're tickets that expire on August 19th, and that will be when Flash Gala ends. So we can hold these either for Premium Gala or Flash Gala. There's 120 of them in total for logging in.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And so, if you roll 100 of these, which will not cost you very many resources at all, it will be mostly free, then you have, that's 100 shots at 2.5% chance. You'll very likely see one of them, at
Yeah,
least.
I actually said it in a different Discord for some of my friends who actually just play casually.
Hmm.
It's for getting a new summer character is a 33% chance if you get an SSR. So if you see an SSR,
Yeah.
it's 33% chance that's going to be that.
Hmm. So, yeah, that's cool. All right, let's go talk about who to look at. So, DJ, where do you want to start? Because you're the one who's guiding me, because I'm going to be sparking off for this.
Just go in order of what's listed.
Left to right? Okay. So, first we go with Zangief over here, who has the spinning pile driver. We have Fediel, who amusingly was in this most recent event and had like 2 scenes.
She
Mostly of
didn't much.
she she was basically Sebastian from the Little Mermaid going kiss the girl, but except for this time it was kiss the guy. But no, not that. Don't feed him. That's weird. Feed him the other way.
And then
Yes.
and then he almost burned his pipe and
Yeah. So all right. So she's Saber now. Like,
melee saber.
huh? I didn't notice that the first time going through. But anyway.
To be fair, she
Mhm.
was already melee saber.
She's Saber. She's Saber. I never knew that.
She has saber for specialty.
In the dark version, she has Saber. I've always, oh my god, I've been doing this all wrong. I've just been assuming she's melee only. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. So where do we go first, DJ? What do we look at? What am I looking at? Because there's a lot of things in parentheses. There's a lot to take in.
So saber. So Fediel, her old version, she just puts up the field. She double CA. She on attack. She would always cast her six nuke, right? And also
Hmm.
give you a 10k shield for the party.
Right.
So we
And
still have the 10k shield.
so that's on skill 1 still. Okay, so it eats her HP now.
20% of her max HP. So it is able to not be casted because if she's lower than 25%.
And then it's a 5 turn the Black's Chill. Um,
So the Black Chill here is the following effects, and that's for the entire party, if I remember correctly. Yeah, all entire party gets Black Chill. 20% boost to charge bar gained. You take 10% of your max HP, caps at 2,000 each turn.
okay.
You deal 400% bonus water damage upon CAing, cap 635. That's before, anything
Well,
else.
everything else, yeah. So it's like 2 to 3 million ish.
About, yeah.
Okay.
That's what Black Shield does.
All right. So instead of having the field that eats everybody's health, this only eats her health then, or everybody?
No, it's
No, the black
everybody.
shield. It eats everybody's health. Okay. So max 2k. All right, got it. Is there anything
And
on
that's
here
why
that's
it's 5 turns long, because that way it eats your entire shield at that point.
so in her grand version, that thing also provides defense up while they have this like negative effect. Is that anywhere on here?
That is not anywhere on here.
So she does not have the defense up anymore. Okay, got it.
But you don't technically really care too much
Okay.
if you're trying CA a lot,
Hmm.
because CA on swords exist. You already have defense from there. You're gonna get defense from having the Diaspora weapon as well.
So, um, something that we were looking at in terms of like the very specific context of Mugen, which is one of the hardest fights available for water to do, you can't heal in that one. So this one continually ticks down her health, and you will need to use justice at some point to bring her out of red and be able to use the ability again, which is a significant
Yeah.
downside. But do you feel how worth it do you feel even in the Mugen situation?
So Mugen's weird, but the damage she brings is just so good, because you need to hit damage caps in Mugen, and also you
Hmm.
need to not take damage from Mugen himself.
So that's what the shield is for, right? Because when it's eaten by a shield and you take 0, then it doesn't trigger any of Mugen's
It
things.
doesn't trigger Mugen.
Okay, all right. So that's the replacement for her skill 1 and kind of her field then. So what are
Yeah,
the
it's all
two new
together.
ones?
But unlike her field, this is not permanent. Once
Hmm.
again,
So you
this
have to
only
keep
lasts five
casting it
turns. It's on a 16-turn cooldown at 55, but she cheats out her cooldowns with her CA.
because it's while she has that specific black's cool chill, she CAs twice, so it will go down to 15 naturally from the turn passing, and then 13 from her double CAing. Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
in practical
So
terms, you can probably keep it forever in a loop.
if you CA every turn that is up, yes, because how the math works is that each turn you're CAing is 15. It's you pretty much do 10 CAs while it's up. If you're doing it from turn one,
Hmm.
it's at 5. It should be at one turn off, I think.
And you can extend with Fioer. This is the Fioer element, or you can just be a Viking, but you probably aren't being a Viking with Fediel.
Well, yeah,
Okay, so she also
but
gets.
she can easily take place of Kukitan in my team, for example,
Mhm.
because Kukitan doesn't do anything for meter in
Right.
my team.
In for Mugen teams, she actually there are good arguments for her either taking Vadra's spot or taking Hase's spot if she wants to, because so she gains herself. So let's see, Clause reverse of Reversal will auto
Unlike
cast, right?
unlike her normal version, it's not on normal attack. It is at end of turn.
Okay, so especially after she CAs, she will do this and get 20, and then what did you say her meter up? What Black's chill is?
It's 20%, so that would
So
go.
it's 24.
Yeah,
She'll get 24 from casting Claws of Reversal, and then she'll get another 12 from her taking the dot from the Black's Chill down here.
yeah. On the bottom one, yeah,
So she will
Eclipse
give
Grace.
herself 36 meter every turn. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good meter gain.
Hmm. Yeah, she has hit to multi attack on that thing, just like
Yeah, it
her
goes
other
up to
version.
40. Yeah,
And then the last skill here is 4 hits of plane, which is a
yeah,
Galleon thing, right? The 4 hits of plane.
I
And
believe
remove a
so,
buff.
and it's 444 per hit.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because
Galleons, I
she
think,
is,
is a different number. She's death.
well,
It's true.
she's death. That's why.
And then so it double dispels. So she joins the double dispel club in water. There's a lot of them. Like Kubiton can dispel twice by just pressing the button twice on her. Uh, it's her skill 3 turn, I think, right?
It is.
She hits
That's what
twice.
allows her to double cast.
Yeah, Vajra can dispel twice just by having 200 meter. Um, Summer Shalem can dispel twice by having enough debuffs that she gets um, the double CA. So
At least this one's on plane damage.
it's a big club that Water has that does that. Hell, Fiora can do it 4 times in a turn, sometimes 5.
But the plane damage makes a good argument though, because
It's true.
you sometimes need that.
Yeah, but the part where it removes a buff also means that she has synergy with the following tools in Water, where it's the Sword of Justice, so it'll heal her when she presses this when you're not
Yeah,
in Mugen. It's with
Veritree is a back line.
it'll do an extra nuke, and if you have Maria Theresa uncapped, it'll do the defense down, the attack down, and the debuff resist down, and then its own natural water defense down. With Clarice, it'll delay. So there's a lot that this button does that's not written out here. Amazing.
All
And
right,
then,
something to note is that
mhm,
Eclipse Grace, so when she takes her dot damage,
mhm.
always gain supplemental CA damage. 60k per time it's casted, maxes out at 300k, cannot be removed.
Okay. And how much? Wait. So what does it stack to
It
when it
stacks
gets
to a
to
maximum
max?
of 300k CA
300.
damage to supplements.
That's that's really significant. So like one of the big reasons that Vajra is so powerful in hard content is because of her CA buff, where depending on how many chain bursts that you've done over the course of this whole thing, she'll give you like passive defense up, she gives you meter up, she gives you all sorts of, she gives you like cap up and all sorts of other things. So if you don't need the defense up anymore, or if you are willing to sacrifice that much defense, then you can easily slot Fediel in there. You can slot like Hasalia also provides a bunch of defense by existing in the front line. And so if you don't need that defense as much, you can once again put in Fediel. So this is an interesting thing. She doesn't
I thought
immediately
Hase was
replace any.
backline.
It's from the buff. It's from the moon buff. It's one of the many hidden things in Hasalia because
Mm.
she advances moon, and based on the phase of the moon, you get more defense. And so when you're CA looping and you're permanently in half moon,
It's Lunar Ryman. Okay.
yeah. So if you're willing to sacrifice either of those defensive tools for an offensive tool, and then all you get back is a shield, which has its own uses, it's a reusable shield. But if you're willing to put in this work, then yeah. Let's see, what's Half Moon's defense buff? Half Moon's defense, sorry, it's Quarter Moon.
Well, it's any moon.
Yeah, it's 25% on Quarter Moon. Um, just by the turn by Hase CAing and then hitting her skill 3 twice. So 25% defense up from Hase, 30% from Dog. And if you want to sacrifice either of those, then yeah, if you can afford to, do it. That's cool. I like that. That's a good place for Fediel to be. All right. So that's Fediel. Anything else to say about
Uh,
her?
I wish her weapon was not glory.
Yeah. Yeah. On the other
In
hand,
the
it is
world
very
where
cute.
we're using all these weapons with
CA cap up on them, Schrodinger, Seaphon sword.
safe on sword.
Yeah. All right. Are we moving on to Aliza then? Going left
Yeah,
to
let's
right?
go.
Okay, so here's Aliza. She's wind, she's melee. She doesn't have a hidden sword or anything like that.
No,
Her
that's Stan.
previous, yeah, her previous version came from Stan. That's where the sword came from. So this is what I know about Aliza. You go all the way down to the support skills, and you get the following things. So she has Beach Blush. She has low meter gain.
35% hit.
And then it says full force counter upon taking damage, and when she counters, then she also does a wind nuke. So she does effectively 2 punches and a nuke after she takes any kind of damage. And then after countering, the next thing is she gets Heat Haze, and so she gets a 3 stack of, in order. First is attack and defense.
30% perpetuity, 100% defense.
Then it's automatic multi attacks. And then probably some number of measure of boost to her triple attack. And then the last one's the big one: amplify normal attack damage.
20% amp.
So she can, after 3 turns of taking damage at all, she'll have full force countered twice, 3 times. Sorry, she'll have nuked 3 times, and then after that, all of her normals are amped, and I believe counters use your normal damage cap and amp. So, you know, that's a very good place to start. Then, with her CA, she activates her skill 2. So let's look at skill 2. Her skill 2 gives you 1 turn of Earth Cut. It gives you 3 turns of defense up to everybody, which is that what, a 30 or a 50? For
It's
getting
a
super full charge?
70% chance of 30% armor
But
and
there's
100% defense.
100% defense. That is a lot of defense that she's throwing around here. So when she CAs, she gives everybody a whole lot of mitigation. These numbers actually remind me of Anne. It might be the same as Anne's 5-star, honestly. I'll look later. Then, so that's what she's doing. She's like reducing the amount of damage you take, but she wants to keep taking enough to keep countering and just bashing away.
Those are Anne's numbers. The difference is Anne has a stackable defense as well.
Okay. So here's Aquarian's Aegis. It gives her Veil. It gives Dispel Cancel. Is the Dispel Cancel party wide?
Read the next line of text.
It amps her damage again, and at Heat Haze 3, then this affects everybody, the Dispel immunity and
Yeah.
the debuff immunity. So she really wants to get hit exactly 3 times, which is good because,
I think she wants to be hit every turn.
yeah, she wants to be hit every turn. So here's Undying that she gets for 3 turns. She gets a sharp boost to hostility. Do you have the numbers for that?
Sharp boost hostility, full hostility.
Okay. And then she gets 4 counters. So she basically, if she gets hit, she quad attacks with a nuke chaser. But she gets can't attack in exchange for this. So she has to be hit in order
As of
to
yesterday's
do this.
patch,
Yeah.
she can't attack.
Yeah, there was a bug with Charm where with Ewiar Charm she would still attack for a unique interaction that they have since taken away.
Yeah, it should have been there. So yeah,
it really shouldn't have been there. So people are using her in Siegfried right now, and in Siegfried she's like out damaging a lot of characters as long as she lives, which isn't necessarily that hard to do. You just have to make sure that
she can't
she
guard when she's
Yeah.
range out Blossom. So she'll go to 1, and then the next thing is gonna the turn 4 is gonna be weird.
Yeah. But until then, she quad attacks, and she does a big nuke at the end, and she just keeps doing that while also helping keep everybody else alive and herself alive a bit. So this is a really, really strong kit right here. She's the offensive tank as opposed to someone like Ingve, who's a sacrificial tank. Rosetta's a sacrificial tank. There's a lot of like Melissa Bell. This is kind of like Melissa Bell, honestly, but with more team utility than just drawing things to herself and then turning it into nukes. So, I mean, this is a cool design. I think it's awesome. I also think something that's really funny is that 2 out of the 3 best supports that currently exist in Wind don't work very well with her. They have anti-synergy. So
Yeah, because you can't give her a shield because that means she doesn't take damage, and so she can't counter.
if you put the boss to sleep, she will do literal nothing for 3 turns.
And if it's funny when you have Ewiar, because sometimes she dodges because where sometimes gives you a dodge.
And sometimes you will also lose turns to charm on the boss. If the boss gets
Yeah,
charmed, she also doesn't get hit. And so it's like none of these are deal breakers necessarily. It's just you just learn. It's like, okay, I am not bringing her with the same on the same team as Neon in Alexiel or anything that is uh, possibly charmable. It's really funny though. Anything else to say about Aliza?
yeah, that's all I have.
She looks fun as hell. All right, going back to the characters who are available. Next up, I have to go down so far. Wait, no, I don't. I have to go to the included items tab. The next one up is the maids. So the maids are the one that I'll need the most help on because
The mates are funny.
there's so much information and then there's a bunch of hidden information too. So, Dorothy and Claudia are actually still a very good light unit. Although amusingly, I see them used more in water than I do in light. All right. So the whole gimmick of the original maids is that they could swap. And so there is a set of Dorothy in front and a set of Claudia in front. And the main thing that's new in this one is that there actually is a backline thing for each character when they're in back. So they not only is there a front character in their own skill set, but they also have an end of turn boost for whoever is in back based on
Yeah, so
whichever you want to have there.
so just go to the runaway watch at the very bottom.
Runaway watch. So we start with Claudia in front, and Claudia is the melee one?
She's the fifth one.
Okay. And then the backline maid provides the following backup fire after normal attacks. So if you are Claudia in front, then after Dorothy comes in with the flamethrower, does
Two hits, a nuke.
okay, and then
Each
reduces
one's 100k. But you know, some mental always increases that. Increasing cap always increases that.
and it's free. It's in addition to what Claudia actually did because
And then it's
go
a
ahead.
5% fire defense down to Saxon 40.
Sure. And then if Dorothy is in front, then Claudia does a single hit, but also gives you meter.
Yeah, 10% meter.
Okay. And then the whichever one's in front has supersonic service for you. So Claudia gets attack up, then multi
It's a
attacks,
30% perpetuity attack on that.
then auto multi attacks. I'm guessing like 100/50 or something like that, or 100/30.
Probably
Untested? Yeah, anyway. And then amp normal attack damage. Yeah, okay.
by 20%.
And then with Dorothy in front, they get a boost to defense. Is it 100?
It's 100.
Boost to meter gain,
30%.
and then amplify skill damage. So if Dorothy's in front, then you not only get the 10 meter from Claudia in back, but you also get a boost to how much they get from
Yeah, so
that
it's a 13% meter.
Okay. That's sort of to make up for them.
The skill damage amp is 20%. And if you're doing things in a certain way on turn one, she's guaranteed to triple attack.
Oh, because of Verstarkin up here?
Yeah, so you're given two options, and because of the way we change Fallout, where we can turn off buttons, you can choose which link skill you're always wanting to choose. And one option is actually choosing Verstarkin as your button because it's a one turn of guaranteed triple attack, and right after that happens, skill one happens.
And not only that, they've keyworded the what we call the Valentine's Grimnir thing, where your normal attacks deal 3 hit damage. So this is a one turn buff they give to themselves instead of passively having it. But every time they press it, they'll get that.
At 3 made momentum.
3 made momentum. And then
so that's 3 switches.
If you're Dorothy, then instead she will do a 3 hit nuke, dispel, and then if made momentum is 3, then you get debuff resist down and special attack damage down.
That's pretty good.
I like the Claudia version a lot, though. I gotta say. All right. So what's the argument to hit Alfvakin instead?
20% chaser for all allies for 2 turns.
And then you get Keen also, which does a little bit of supplemental damage. Okay.
50k on a guaranteed crit.
And if you're Dorothy, then it's the mirror of Verstarken, where it's
You're in
3 hit
hot
fire.
water.
You get minus defense, and then you give minus attack and minus multi attack. Okay.
20%, 25% on dual defense, 20% win attack down, 50% TA down, 50% TA down.
Out of curiosity, when you are Dorothy, do these buttons become red?
No, they're
They're
blue.
still yellow. They're blue as her.
Yeah,
Okay. So they'll still happen before Seaside Service is the important
correct.
part. Okay. And
Because
then
Seaside Service is a 3-turn cooldown.
it's made to be
With,
hit exactly after they've hit their thing, huh?
yep,
So Seaside Service is how you get made mentum. You need to hit this 3 times, it looks like, because I don't see other made mentum
it is.
sources. So exactly turn 7 is when they'll have made mentum 3.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really good.
you end cooldown for their linked skill, and so it means that, like, let's say you're on turn 4, you are on Dorothy. Dorothy will hit the debuff, whichever debuff you've chosen. Then you Seaside Service. Then Claudia will hit that.
And Claudia would hit one of her buffs, whichever one you're left on full auto.
Hmm.
Also, things to note is that when they CA, after 3 made mentum, both link skills will happen.
Yes. We had to look that up because it's not written here, because you don't actually have mermaids listed under their charge attack. So it's like when you are Claudia and you do infight impact.
Is a 20% damage amplify. When you are Dorothy, Splash Flame does a delay, and then when you have mermaids, it's both, and the Summer Link.
Okay, yeah. So wait, run that by me again. So here's infight impact. That one is clearly Claudia's.
Yes,
How do you get the Dorothy effect on it? Is that with made mentum, or is that just
Dorothy effect is when Dorothy's in front.
how do you get infight impact while you have Dorothy in front? I thought that was
Dorothy CA is Splash Flame.
so
The charge attack is written weirdly there.
okay. So Dorothy's is splash flame here. Claudia's. Oh,
Is in
so
flight impact, and then they both become mermaids when you're at 3 stacks.
is it just is it written there as a reminder for when you have like their tab open, where it'll say like
Yes,
right now splash flame is the fire damage with a delay, but if you
yes.
switch to Claudia, it would be this thing instead. Oh, I was so confused by that. So it makes more sense when you're in combat and it has that little blurb of text that tells you what their CA does.
Yep.
Okay. Whew.
You know, they made these characters well that they can actually work on full auto,
Hmm. And you
which
can
is the
pick
amazing thing.
you can pick which version of them that you make on full auto also, or you can play the manual and have fun. I actually play the maids on manual, but I also use them with a water main character, so don't mind me.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Okay, the next one up is one that I've been waiting for a while. Is Survival Yurius. This this outfit is so good. He's just Tarzaning.
I'm sad that the skill 1 has to go to 0 to turn the cooldown.
Yeah. So with with Urius, the feature of him. Let's go all the way down to freestyle tentacles. So boost to skill damage cap based on the number of foes debuffs. I'm assuming it goes up to 10 because 10 is an important
Yeah,
number.
no, it goes to 30.
Woo!
It's 3% per debuff.
Okay, I meant 10 debuffs. Okay, so it's 3% per debuff to 30% on a max of 10. But above that, you want to land 5 or more debuffs on the current turn. And it casts his Tentacle Rush. And Tentacle Rush over here is um, it 16 hits if they have 10 debuffs?
No, it increases to 10 hits.
Okay, so 10 hit light damage. It also heals and it also dispels. And you can do that every turn if, and this is a big
Wait, hold on,
if.
let me actually. I need to go testing because I know this guy can do like 10 million damage a turn. Hold on,
Yeah, okay.
let me go fight something.
Yeah, Rodrant's like, scratch one off of the ROB summer.
Keep going. I'm literally going to
Okay,
fight Avatar right now.
sorry. Um, but the whole thing is you need to land 5 debuffs, and
Oh, that's pretty easy in light.
it is, but this leads to one of the things about like it's a Princess Connect thing that they took away, the ability to brick characters in certain playstyles by leveling them too much. Um, so right now, if you go into Yurius and he's level 1, then there's a full auto toggle on Feeler Formation, and Feeler Formation is one of the most important buttons to Yurius because it's Kenkyu, which means it'll inflict the attack down, it'll inflict the defense down, and then it'll inflict another random debuff.
10k poison, 10k putrefy, 3 turns of charm, 3 turns of petrified, 3 turns
Three,
of local blind, 60% accuracy down,
2 turns.
25%. Oh, I can't read. 25% attack down, 25% defense down. Each of those on 3 turns, and 2 turns of paralyzed.
Yeah, the only ones that are new to light that weren't there on wind are these local attack down and local defense down. The rest is the same. And so if you press this button once, you have likely 2, maybe 3, depending on boss immunities, that are landed, and then you only need to land 2 more. A lot of that can be done by, say, playing a Chaos Ruler main character, by having Makora in your team, by having who else debuffs on attack? Like Luo, I think debuffs on attack.
Okay, I
There's
checked this. He only does 10 hits.
okay, maximum 10 hits. Okay. But if you level him, this cooldown goes down to 0 turns, which is the Yurius standard, and he no longer casts it once per turn on full auto, which then means that you have to resort to the other ones to get to the 5. Otherwise, like some people are leaving him at low level, so this never upgrades, and it casts every turn, and they don't need to jump through nearly as many hoops to get Tentacle Rush. Because Tentacle Rush is the reason to play Yurius right now.
Uh, that's cool, but I'd rather have him have other things that like make
Yeah,
him live,
yeah.
like
Like
EMPs.
you can actually get EMPs without uncapping him. EMPs only matter at max level.
Not EMPs, mastery.
Yeah, okay, that one does matter. um,
So things to note is that actually a really good setup is actually uh Makiria going into Luo
mm-hmm. Because Luo will
because
attack twice and debuff. Like it'll be twice from Makura, and it'll be once from Luo, I think.
he has 2 debuffs
Yes,
on
two
his
yes.
attack.
Okay, so that he will attempt 8 debuffs a turn essentially, unless he's CAing for one of those attacks.
Yeah, and even then, that's still a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then Chaos Ruler MC is 3 debuffs. Berserker MC is 2 debuffs with Beast Fang. Um, and then both of those classes, both Chaos Ruler and um, Berserker, are very importantly sword classes in light, so they can hold the Dark Opus and just do whatever you want with that. Or you can. Oh, what is the Luminous Dagger give again? Is it Thunderstruck? Is it Thunderstruck on attack? Whoops, wrong one. It's under Moons, Gold
I
Moons,
don't remember this weapon
Illustrious.
at all.
Yeah, Futsunomi Tama. It does raise the level Thunderstruck upon normal attacks, which also is something that
which is also something that's guaranteed because
yeah.
how Thunderstruck works.
So you can have MC if you're a Chaos Ruler MC with Futsunomi Tama. Uh, I mean, sure, this is something that only happens with 150 gold moons, but it's something. You can get guaranteed Thunderstruck every turn, along with your Chaos Ruler's 3D buffs. So that's 4, and so you just need 1 more. It's a lighter condition. But now I'm trying to remember a certain human saber character who I believe didn't they make Albert also Thunderstruck on attacks?
There's so many owlbears that so you have to look it up.
Deal multi-attack, boost. No, let's see here.
Activate
No,
impulse slash at the end of turn.
activate impulse slash at end of turn. Impulse. It's end of turn though. So actually no, that does matter because if you put him before Yurius, then Yurius will check after. I think. So he will do. Albert also does 2 debuffs each turn. Anyway, it's a really cool design. I really want to experiment with it, but and I also believe that people who leave Urius low level are cowards. It's like how I think that people who get a raise Velger and only leave it 149, they're also cowards. All right, so we've gone through all the characters now. We've made it through all 4, DJ. So the last thing to talk about is Summer Cerberus.
We actually left out details on typical rush because
Urius.
it also removes a debuff and also heals.
Oh, it does so much. He does so much as long as you fulfill his every turn quest.
Yeah, obvious answers is that easy way to on one turn at least to get debuffs is Agua because
Mm.
Agua does like 12.
Also true. Yeah. Tuyen on her turn where she has depravity up is like she attempts like 18 of them or some silly number. It's not actually 18, but it feels like it
It
sometimes.
feels like it's yeah. So also his skill 3 just removes a buff axe twice, and that's always been good, especially with lately these stupid bosses with like 5, 6, 7 buffs on themselves at
Yeah.
50%.
Yep. And light is the element with Grand Cagliostro, so it can also turn into a nuke and a delay should you choose to pair him with Cagliostro, the founder of alchemy.
You know, we have our research together.
Yeah. So this is all really cool. Like these characters are all very cool, which is why it's just like, yeah, after this stream, I'm absolutely sparking with all of this free stuff. Um, so the last, like I said, here's Summer Cerberus. So she is
That's the only thing
basically
I didn't get this summer, actually.
it's boosted Demon Bream for fire. So you get jammed on call at 4 star. She gives you Chaser, I believe.
Yeah, 20% chaser.
Um, then in her sub aura, she gives Dispel, Cancel, and Jammed at the start of the fight. Jammed, by the way, is one of the worst status effects buffs to start with, unless you intentionally punch yourself in the face to start the fight, which you can do by calling her. So, you know,
And it starts at 10% as an extra modifier though,
mhm,
at full health, so it's not that bad.
that's true. And it can't be dispelled very easily because you start with a dispel cancel. And then her main stuff is like, whatever. As a
Boost
main,
to main allies triple attack rate depending on how low their HP is.
you're going to be using this character as a turn 1 summon. A lot of the time, you'll be using Yarima to summon her and the sun on the same turn. Let's be very honest about this. She is
Or
basically a
I could
combination between like
I could probably summon a
red hair.
horse.
Yeah, this is true. The horse also gives chaser. Is the chaser number higher on red hair? Red underscore hair.
It is 30%.
Yeah, so it's either 20% with jammed or it's 30%. But you also get dispel cancel from her, and you get
Well,
HP
that's only
from.
in Sub-Aura.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Sub-Aura in Fire actually already exists.
That's fair. That's fair.
Looking at Athena.
Hmm.
Athena.
And then someone in chat was noting that we have a new version of Star Premium Draw where you can pick the 10 characters
And you
that
can
you
filter it to characters you don't own.
yeah. So I can actually say it's like maybe I don't want Summer Siegfried and I would rather have Summer Sandalphon. Okay, get back here, Siegfried. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
I love
But
Sigman.
this is this is a positive development. It is one of their ways to combat the sheer number of. Hold on, wait a second. I need to go back to the Cerberus art. I just now realized that Coco and Mimi have bikinis. 1 second. I need to see this again. Oh my god. That's amazing. Sorry, got distracted. Anyway, if you are a person who looks at Star Premium and goes, there's too many chances of a miss, well, I mean,
You can set your misses.
I am only missing 16 summer characters who are available. And the previous one, where it was divided by element, I didn't do because I was like, I looked at fire. I'm missing one out of these 10 characters. It's only a 10%. That doesn't make sense. I looked at light and dark, and I went, I'm missing two of these characters. That's the no. I'm not doing it. This one is you have no one to blame but yourself if you don't get something you like, because there are so many good options. And anyway,
Yeah, I'm ready for your Dark United fight now.
did you get Kupitan? No, you had
I
Kupitan.
got Ilsa.
Still Ilsa. You're right. You're right. I remember now. We've talked about this.
I've had Kubiton for the longest.
You have. Uh. So anyway, whew. All right.
Rate up the real guys.
Well, rate up is real. Well, I'll be the judge of that. uh, but yeah. So the last thing that I want to do before we switch over to this being a Spark stream is I'm going to turn on sound and say we do have the JJK upcoming, and we have 2 duo units confirmed for the collab. And they've been doing really well designing duo units recently. Like we've got Zoro and Sanji, we've got Nami and Robin. They are extremely solid. You saw both of them in their elements respective Unite and fights. We have now we have the maids. Before that we had like Yule and Sosie, etc., etc. So I'm excited for their design for Yuji and Megumi, and then also Maki and Nobara. But the reason I turned on volume is for this. That's all I needed to hear. My man Toto, my idiot son, my besto friendo, he's coming to Granblue
That's all I know
Fantasy.
about JJK is Toto.
I'm so excited. This is gonna be a fun one. Toto jump scare, hell yeah!
I mean, that was less of a jump scare because they actually gave us him in the preview for on the website. They did not give us the females.
True. Oh my god.
Instead, we got that from Jump.
One more time. Okay. 3 is the charm. I won't do that anymore. It makes me so happy, DJ. GBF does such a good job with its collabs.
But will we get Jennifer Lawrence?
I want someone with a big ass like Jennifer Lawrence, or Dorothy. Let's go into draw and just take a look at the cake that Dorothy's packing. Oh, no, sorry, it's Claudia. Because it's like you look at Fediel's ass, and Fediel's ass is flat as a board. It's like, yeah, okay, but then, yeah. Anyway, there's something for everybody on this banner. Everybody, have fun. Um,
Welcome to the ship.
yeah. Welcome to the ship, everybody. Um, the reason that we did this once again is that Thursday night I will be trying to get as much rest as possible for the marathon that will be my Friday, because Friday starts with GB versus a panel at Evo for that. Then I'll be trying to play as much of play and watch as much Rising as possible. There will be a tournament. There will be open play. Fukuhara is gonna be there.
I'm not making out my pool.
Yeah, you have Gamera in your pool.
I have
It's like
Gamera on my side of the bracket. I'm like, this is not happening.
you simply need to hit him more times than he hits you. There's so much offense in this version. I can't finish this sentence. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's also button DPs without restriction.
So
He was already doing it. It's just
everybody
now
was.
it's just now that he has even more incentive to do it. Like
Oh
it's like,
man.
oh man, why he reacted every dive? Yeah, everyone can react to every dive if you remember to just do the easy input.
But anyway, so then after that, we have basically I take a nap and then get ready to stream from my friend's place in order to translate the live stream, which you will run from basically 2 a.m. until like 7 a.m. our time over here, just from me like doing extra cleanup and extra translations. It's gonna be bad.
Well,
Pocky,
at least this time I'm not playing from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
yeah, Pocky, I love you like a brother, buddy, but you fall asleep when it's like 9 p.m. your time and we're streaming. I do not know how much help you will be at 6 a.m. local time. We are old men. We need our sleep.
I'm pretty sure you get less sleep than I do normally.
Um, Mine is medically enhanced, which helps. Well, machine enhanced. My CPAP regulations say that 4 hours is minimum acceptable, and then because of it being a CPAP, I wake up after usually 7 or so. And we know, I've said this before, if I sleep more than about 8 hours, I'm probably sick.
So yeah, Friday is gonna be fun.
Friday is going to be wild. And then after that, we got to do what we usually do after these big live streams is we break up the news over freaking 3 weeks just so we can digest it all. But
But
till then,
none of us are doing anything Saturday anyways.
I am sleeping on Saturday, and then I will wake up and I will go to the finals of GB versus Rising, and then I will go back to sleep. Oh no, I will eat at some point. That's important
You
things.
know, that part's important.
It is. All right, but anyway, um, DJ, thanks a lot for the walkthrough of all these characters. There is so much to take in with how they design characters these days. It's like Yurius and Dorothy are both engines. Like Aliza doesn't work if you don't know how to use her. She just literally does 0 damage. And then like Fediel is the easiest to understand out of all of these. And
CA go go CA.
hit Unga Bunga, meter go full, press button, press orange button.
Yeah.
All right. So that is it for Granblue Radio. We'll be back next week from our own houses, and from yeah, you can see that I'm actually in just a borrowed bedroom from here. But thank you, everybody.